Thank you all for coming out. We're getting everything set up and ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and start making our way that way. We'll start with the female athletes. Feel free to filter in once these guys get going through the line. Feel free to continue eating and make trips back up, fill up water, tea, whatever you need to do as we get started here. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to the 2023 Westran Fall Sports Banquet to recognize these young men and women and the seasoned accomplishments that they had this fall and the time that they put in, and as well as the coaches. We want to just thank each of the groups and everyone involved. A big thank you as we keep going here. We're going to start off the night with girls golf recognition and Coach Jeff Slacker.
Hello, we have 2 golfers this year, and they're both 4-year lettermen. They're both seniors. They have kept our girls golf program going for the last few years. They had some help, but they have been the one constant for 4 years in Westran golf. It is Valerie Shimmerhorn and Faith Oliver. Just Valley. All right, so here's what Valley accomplished this year. Number one, she missed part of the season and still kept her average right at where it was last year. She got a first place at a 9-hole match in Paris. She got a 20th place with Faith in a Harrisburg Scramble. She got an 8th place medal in conference. She got 5th place in the County Cup. And then she shot a 121 in her final round at districts. Valley was, for the 4th year in a row, our Westran Golfer of the Year. Very proud of Valley and all she accomplished in the last 4 years. Very proud of Faith and all she accomplished in the last 4 years. Faith, as our second golfer, is our most improved golfer for, I believe, the 3rd out of 4 years. So, thank you. Now let's Coach Steve with cross country.
Have all the cross-country people that ran in districts come up front, please. These ran districts come up front. Jackson, you too. Okay, we're missing one, but this is our people that represented cross-country for Westran this last year. Years past, we've had 4. Before that was 3, and 2 to start with. So the 4th year, Jackson was a dual sport athlete, but the program has grown a little bit. It started with junior high this year. We had 3 full-time runners and tech runners with 1 dual sport person. First, I want to thank the food was great, and I want to thank the administration for the support of the program, Mr. Drew and Mr. Laughlin for helping with the transportation, and then Mrs. Bennett for helping transport some of the junior high kids to the meets and back. Mr. Hammond was able to drive our bus to the 3 meets this last year. And all the full-time runners this last year earned at least 1 medal. That's pretty great accomplishment. It was great. So, first person I'm going to talk about is Caden Smith. Caden started about a week late. I think she's a little bit nervous, and I was too for her because she came off an ankle injury, and she battled through it, but felt stronger as the year went on. Her first race of the year is a little over about 40 minutes. She got her best time below in the 27th, so over a 12-minute difference, which in her running from the beginning to that point in October, a month later, was over a mile difference. So you think about that, it's a mile faster. Again, she battled through some injuries. Her best time was down at Columbia with a little over 27 minutes, and that's been kind of a home course for her. I'm gonna have you come up, stay up here, please, after I get you back. Okay? So I'm gonna give you that. Our first senior female to start and finish the season is Liza Pruitt. She had to go, she took over 11 minutes off her best time to a little over 10 minutes off her best time, and she had a goal to beat 30 minutes. She was 13 seconds away from that goal of hers. I had two for it. I saw her. She ran 13, but in 5K, and it was in front of a kind of a home crowd for us. So we had a lot of people there rooting her on, and she stuck with it, got better as the year went on, and I think she learned how to persevere through some hard times running up there. So, but I think one race you would only last 10, the rest of them you get a lot of people. So, a lot of good stuff there at that. So, Liza? Okay, this person was a dual sport athlete. Talked to him into helping run last year. I think Mr. Baxley for letting me have a couple of Saturdays off. That's Jackson Orgamuth, and the first race he helped us get a third place finish out of 6 schools, and then in districts we were 7th. Had to be top 4, but at the start, and we had a team that represented the school at districts and at a regular season meet. And I had he was a little over 23 minutes at districts. He has ran faster, but considering got a little started late this year on his conditioning, but he's going to do a lot of good running because at track this next spring. And I have a 5th runner award that goes to Jackson. This person's not here, Britton Stiegel. He kept getting better as the year went on, but when he crossed the finish line near Franklin, he said he got a medal, and that was his goal that day. So when he got up there, well, he didn't race at Highland, but that's what he wanted. He got at least 1 medal. And him and Nolan kind of battled off a lot of times this last year. I think he was 6 seconds behind Nolan on his best time. But Britton Stiegel. Next person. Mr. Consistent this last year. Well, they all were pretty consistent, but Josiah was anywhere from the 21 minute to the low 22s most of the season. Second year of running, kept getting better as the season went on. Barely missed breaking the 20-minute mark at Gans Creek in Columbia at 21:01. Also, I said I was going to mention that he, since I still have a track, he was get to help him this year. He's our conference pole vaulting champions last year. Josiah. Nolan Winkler. This young man took on a different role this last year. Had some knee trouble at the beginning, changed some running shoes, which helped a lot. Times got better. Plus, he got involved. He was already in FFA, but he got to go to Indiana, part of the trap shooting team. So, Mr. Multi-talented. Plus, when we go to places, try to get the runners to walk the course. Well, he's one of the guys that took them out and kind of showed them what the course is like for the young runners. Sometimes I call him the captain. Not 99.9, but still. A lot of leadership. And his best time was down at Gans Creek, the first race of the season in early September. Nolan Winkler. Okay. Jill battled through some nagging injuries too with her ankles and get taped up a lot of taping. Thank gosh for athletic trainers. Jill became 2 for 2 in qualifying for state, so and hopefully the next 2 years we can get her to do that again, maybe finish a little bit higher up this next year. She holds a score record of 23:05 over Salisbury from last year, not this year, but she did do a 23 plus down at Gans Creek in Columbia. Her best finish was at Highland, getting 3rd. She led the race for the first mile. And the plaque's got a little state emblem on it. Okay, last. This young man wanted to break the school record, which he did. He did an 18:27.98 down in Columbia. And after he got through running the race, I said, well, before the race started, I said, I'd like to see you break 18:30. And then later on, after he kind of recovered, I said, I'd like to see you closer to 18. He said, I did what he asked me to do, which he did. So, Reese had a really great year running. He medaled at Salisbury the first week, medaled at Highland, medaled at New Franklin, medaled at Boonville, medaled at Mobley. The Simpson Memorial Meet at Yan Street again, and Trade, Salisbury, and Bowling Green. Let's see, medal in districts. I'll go back to Jill. She finished 2 spots higher this year at 14th, and last year she was 16th. Reese is 12th in districts. It's hard to compare towns because all the courses, weather and stuff plays a lot to do with running and stuff. But these guys all come back. I hope you stick with it. It's been a great group to work with. I do remember stopping at CC's. Reese wasn't with us. He had another commitment that day. We went down, and on the way back, we stopped at CC's. And I think we went through 18 plates of pizza and some 4 or 5 bowls of whatever salads and stuff, plus a number of drinks. They were full. At least I think they were. Next, Coach Andrews. Reese, I got you here. There you go.
All right, Coach Sanders, softball coach, we'll start with some thank yous. First of all, thank everyone helping prepare the meal tonight. Thank the Booster Club for everything that they do. You know, usually boys, they really like this meal, but I think the girls are starting to kind of even up with them a little bit. I've been watching them in the lunchroom, and they're doing a pretty good job too, so they're starting to get up there as well. I'd like to thank the Board of Education Administration, Mr. Harvey, Mr. Massey, Mr. O'Loughlin, all those guys for the support that they give our teams and myself. I'd like to thank our parents. We appreciate all your support that you give our team, all the rides and stuff that you give the girls, games and practices. Greatly appreciate it. I'd like to thank our bus drivers, and I guess this is my pitch tonight. I know we still need plenty of bus drivers, and Mr. Drew back there, you can go talk to him in that ugly Green Bay shirt that he's wearing. Driving the bus. I'd like to thank my wife, Melinda, daughter Ella. Melinda couldn't be here tonight. From a busy summer schedule, softball season, now in the basketball season, they're not at home very much. So they allow me to do what I love to do. And, Ella really looks up to the young ladies and the young men. So, it's all greatly appreciated with them. Cheerleading coaches, cheerleaders, all their support, hard work that they do for our teams. Coach Slack for the golf team, Coach D, cross country team. Congratulate both of them on their teams and their seasons. Coach Baxter on the football team, great season, conference champions. That's always fun. My assistant coach, Coach Saul. Glad to really have her as my assistant. I think we worked well together, and I know that we really want success for our softball program. If there's anybody else, thank you. All right, go with our team here. I'm going to kind of call stuff like class, talk about each class a little bit individually. So our freshman class, you guys can come as I call your name. Our freshman class, we have Kaylin Johnson, Charlie Starr, Lane Kurtz, Annie Barton, Anna Tagai, and Maureen Merritt. Extremely proud of this freshman group this season. They all played JV, helped lead us to our strong JV season. A few of them also contribute to the varsity team as well. I'll start with Lane and Charlie. These two both ended up being a key piece in our lineup. They both had some strong bats, and at the end of the year, they really batted in the middle of our order. I really expect big things from these two next year. Anna Tagai, I was really impressed with her strong arm and defense. Anna is one that can play defense in a lot of different positions, and I think that she has the ability to help us out next year as well. Kayla Johnson has really good bunting ability. I think probably on our team, she's one of our best bunters that we have. Also has good speed. She's a good base runner. She's one that can definitely contribute in that aspect next year. Annie Barton. Annie's one of the best outfielders, I'd say, in this group. Really good at tracking balls. Played tremendous defense in JV games. We played her in center field a lot. So I look to see her continue to improve. Morgan Merritt, our last freshman. Morgan has a very strong bat. And when she really squares the ball up, she hits the ball hard. She can hit it in the gaps. So overall, I'm just really proud of this freshman group and look to see them improve again next year. Our sophomores, we have Kerrigan Findler, Shaylin Bell, Kylie Carroll, Kylie Harvey, and girls step here. No, step here. Shaylin Bell, Kylie Carroll, Kylie Harvey, Kai Massey, Kate Holman, and Jalen Miller. This group is still just being sophomores. It's one of the top classes that we have. I feel like all these girls can contribute many different ways. We'll start with Kaya and Shaylin. Both of these girls battled through injuries this year, missing big parts of the season. Kaya was really coming on this summer before her ankle injury. And the sad thing about Kaya's ankle injury this summer is she was probably about 3 feet from hitting it over the fence, so she got a triple on it. Then she's on third base, ball gets to the backstop, she comes home. That's what all happens. So a little bit more power in our weight room, we would have never been in that situation. But I expect big things out of Kai. I hope she's 100% next year. Shaylin really stepped up, camera catcher through quite a few of our games this year after Ryan went down. Shaylin has good offense and defensive skills. We look for her to come back next year and see what she can help us out with. Kylie Carroll. Kylie plays really good first base. I know Kylie was frustrated a lot throughout the season. She's really struggled to kind of get her back going, but I know that's something she will continue to work on. Hallie Harvey is one of our biggest weapons we have on our team. With the ability in softball, subs can re-enter. So Hallie's a weapon on the bases. She led our team in stolen bases. One of the top players that runs scored as well. I think Hallie also, can be a really good defender with just a little bit more consistency, and I think she'll be a big outfielder for us next season. Jalen Miller. Jalen, nice season for us. I think one of her first games once she entered the starting role, hit a home run over the fence in the 9-hole. So, it was something that we saw coming from her. We knew that she could do that, and you can see it on the basketball floor as well. She's quite the athlete. So with her speed, her athleticism, we expect big things from her. That's the end of that page. Kerrigan Findler. Kerrigan, probably one of the biggest hits in my time here at Westran. Last week got Kate. Kate, like Jalen, missed a lot of her freshman year with injury. Kate led us mostly all offensive categories this season. I still think that Kate can become a little more consistent on the defensive side. But Kate, she makes those plays that about no high school kid can make. And then she'll kind of make one that maybe most kids can make. So just become more consistent there. I think Kate has the ability. Kate has the ability to be an all-state type of player. All right, juniors. Juniors, Ryan DeBova and Kylie Hayes, Jason Colley, and Lizzie Dollar. All right, we'll start with Ryan. Ryan had a quick end to her junior season. To say that we missed Ryan is probably a big understatement. We really worked with Ryan through these past couple of years on some catching duties. And not just I'm talking about catching the ball, blocking balls, throwing people out, things like that. Ryan's really worked on where to frame pitches, where we want to set up when we call pitches. And I think that showed in our first game against Cairo, which was one of her 2 games that she got to play. Mallory has 10 strikeouts in that game. And I think just the ability, when you have a good catcher like she was, that can locate and set up and know where she's supposed to be, that really helps you out, and we really miss that throughout the year. And not just her defense, but Ryan, she batted third in the middle of our order, so we missed her bad as well. Lizzie Dollick, very good junior year. Lizzie, kind of like I said with Hadley earlier, could be a game changer, lots of speed. Lizzie's probably one of the strongest girls that we have on the team. She squares it up, which I also think she has the best bat, because I always use it. But when she squares it up, she hits that ball hard. So, we expect big things from her. She's usually a tough out. She puts it in play, and I thought she really had a good junior season. Jason Colley found herself hitting in most of our games this year. I really like Jason's swing. I think she has one of the smoothest swings on our team. It makes a lot of contact, hits the ball hard, stays up the middle, and, she just does a lot of good things for us at the plate. Kylie Hayes. Kylie really has the ability to be a game changer when she's at the plate. Strong kid, hits the ball hard, fast. She puts it in the gap, it's a triple. They make mistakes, she's maybe even scoring on it. Kylie worked through some slumps. We worked on her swing path throughout the year. I think she continues to work on that. She can have a real good season her senior year. We're also going to make on Kylie next year a lot in the circle. Kylie pitched for us this year. Some games she looked really good. Some games she struggled a little bit. But pitching's a big part of softball, and we're going to need her next year along with these other girls to continue to step up. Seniors. Mallory Brown, Kirsten Thompson, and Lauren Harlan. You guys can all come up here. I'll leave these girls kind of towards the end and talk about them, but you guys all stay up here as I talk about our season here. All right, our season. Quite a bit of time's passed now. You look back at your season. I think you can kind of feel all kinds of emotions. We had excitement, we had heartbreaking times, we had disappointing times, we had fun times. When you think back about all those times, I think just really the inconsistency is what stuck out. I can stand up here and tell you that there's not anyone in this room that wants to be more successful and win softball games more than myself and Coach Saul. There's nobody that is going to question or second guess us more than ourselves. We can look at a lot of things to help us to get more wins and be more successful. The first thing is sometimes it's out of our hands. Injuries. Injuries have been a big bug to us. And I think if we're going to compete at a high level, we have to be healthy. So that's something, we'll continue to do the best we can to put ourselves in good shape to be healthy. The next big part is focus. Whether it's practice, it's a Sunday BP, or it's the game, the focus needs to be there all the time. This group of girls is probably one of the funnest group of girls to coach. When you're just hanging out, you're out to eat, or you have an over for a team event, it's a whole lot of fun. And sometimes when you're at practice, you gotta get serious, that's when you struggle a little bit. And I think just the focus there all the time and being ready to show up and play is the biggest key for these girls. If we do that, I think we have the ability to compete with anybody. We go through part of our season to where it's a tough stretch. You look back on about the past 10 seasons, Westran softball really went through some losing stretches. Okay? Our schedule's tough, but we got to find a way to get through that. Overall, I'm proud of this group of girls. I think we have a lot of talent. I think we have good senior leadership. I think we have good talent coming back. The best part about them is they're good students. I don't have to worry about discipline issues at school. And like I said earlier, they're a fun group to coach. So thank you, girls. Hey, Mallory. Mallory. All right, we have a few postseason awards. Both of these girls were members of the all-conference and all-district team. I'd say our conference, you look at teams like Salisbury, Marceline, Knox County has been really good over the years. Fayette's been really good here recently. Being on our all-conference team is very tough. All-district team this year was a lot different as well. You're usually talking about 4 or 5 teams in a district in Class 1. Now they moved it up to there's 9 teams in the district. So both these girls making it on those teams were really big accomplishments. I'll start with Mallory. Mallory was 3rd team All Lewis and Clark Conference and 2nd team All District. Kate Holman was first team all conference and first team all district.
Congratulations to both of these girls.
All right, team awards. Give out 4 team awards. First award is our Bleed Green Award. I took a little bit different stance on this award this year. This award is going to a senior who I thought worked hard in the off season to not just continue to be a starter on this team, but be a key contributor. She started the season as one of our best hitters, but the reason she is receiving this award because of the sacrifice she made as a team player to help make our team successful. After a couple different injuries at catcher, we needed someone to step up in this role. After not catching for 2 seasons, Kirsten Thompson stepped up for us. She never really complained, and she spent a lot of time before, during, and after practice to get better. This was something herself and our team never thought would happen at the beginning of the year. Her attitude and her work ethic to step into that role I was very pleased with, and this year's Bleed Green Award goes to Kirsten Thompson. Our next award is our Offensive Player of the Year. This person didn't hit the ball for average as good as she probably would have liked to this year, but was still one of our leaders in on-base percentage as she led our teams in walks. She was also a top leader for stolen bases and runs scored. The biggest threat she has was her ability to do many different things at the plate. She could slap hit, she could hit for power, she could bunt for a hit, or she could bunt move runners. This year's Offensive Player goes to Lauren Harlan. All right, Defensive Player of the Year. This player spent mostly all her defense time in the pitching circuit. She pitched 105 out of our total 148 innings. With 88 strikeouts and a 4.45 ERA, she did a great job in keeping us in all of our games that she pitched. She really knew her strengths as a pitcher and worked a lot on perfecting those strengths. She didn't overpower other teams with her speed, but did a great job of locating and mixing up different pitches that she has. In a total of 15 years of coaching, Mallory Brown is probably one of the best teammates and one of the hardest workers that I've ever coached. This year's Defensive Player goes to Mallory Brown. Our last award is our team MVP. This girl led us in almost every offensive category. She ended the season with a .476 average after batting over .500 most of the season. She also led the team in hits, on-base percentage, runs scored, and RBIs. Defensively, she has the ability to make plays that will wow you. She has one of the strongest arms that I've ever seen throwing the ball across the field. Out of all the most impressive stats that she has, the one that sticks out to me most is 7 strikeouts and 84 bats. The ball jumps off her bat, and she really has the ability to hit the ball from power. Our team MVP this year goes to Kate Holman. All right, last page. Conclusion. To my seniors, I'm very proud of the softball careers that you guys have had. Kirsten, I thought, has really matured into an outstanding young lady these past couple of seasons that I've got to see her grow. She has a strong heart, a good teammate, a good classmate. Lauren Harlan, always a leader in the group, and she always wanted to push her teammates to be better. I'm proud of how Lauren isn't just a leader of our softball team, but also a leader of our school. Mallory, like I said just a little bit ago, one of the best teammates, hardest workers that I've ever coached. Sometimes with these young ladies and all the young ladies, you get a little drama, but Mallory is one that really never, bought into that. I look forward to seeing what all 3 of these girls do in their future. I wish them all the best of luck. Underclassmen, once the spring season and summer time comes around, it's going to be time to get back to work. I hope all of you really put in the hard work it takes to compete at a high level. If we do those things, I think we can have some fun softball seasons ahead of us. Thanks to all the parents, players, everyone else involved with the season we had. Go Hornets, go Lady Hornets. Next up, Coach Baxley, football.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to start off with some thank yous. First and foremost, I want to thank my family and my fiance for support this entire year. Just having them there at pretty much every game, I don't think they missed one the entire year. So having them there means a lot to me, and I can't thank them enough for what they have done for me this entire season and throughout my entire life. So I just want to give them a thank you. Thank you to the board and admin for the opportunity to support throughout the season. Coach Laughlin, Mr. Massey for listening to my 1,000 questions that I have. And I know pretty much every day I probably called Coach Laughlin, and he's probably thinking, oh, here we go again. And so I appreciate him answering my questions and giving me feedback when I need it. Coach Sander for mowing and weed eating and doing stats for us each game. And we appreciate that. Does a really good job for that. William, Morris, and Brady, and the custodial staff for all the work keeping our facilities clean. It's good to see. I take pride in everything looking nice, and so they do a really good job for us with that, and that's something that I appreciate. And also, thank you for the help with the weight room this year. I really appreciate that and get that going. So that's something that I take pride in. Mr. Matt Helmick for his posts and stand-up days on Facebook. He's been a huge supporter for us for, I don't know how long he'd be up here to tell you real quick how long he's been doing it. But he's done a really good job for us, and I appreciate him keeping you guys, the community, updated on what's going on, not just football, with all the other sports going on. Thank you to for everyone who was doing the announcing in the press box and doing the clock and all that. I appreciate that. Chain Gang, Andy Gravito, Holden, Michael Harvey, David Drew. Thank you guys for doing that and dealing with me on the sideline because I'm just a spaz on the sideline. So a lot of times I'm just in the way, and so I know there's probably a lot of times, dude, yeah, away. And so I appreciate that, and thank you for being patient with me there. Jason Williamuk and Tiernan for being consistent help with being ball boy and running the end zone camera. I can't appreciate that enough. Didn't do a very good job of getting somebody to help start the year. Those guys kind of just on the limb just decided to help it, and I appreciate that. Kate Holman for being our manager. We appreciate you on the sidelines. You're doing a great job giving us boys water. And I'm sorry that we had your knee problems at the end of the year that you didn't have much help there. But you did a really good job. Your knee was in good shape for us. Aaron Johnson, the band, they do a great job. Being in the band in the past, I know that takes a lot of work, and they do a really good job for us with the national anthem and playing the flag song, and that's something that we appreciate. Coach Thomas and David Drew for driving the buses, cheerleaders and sponsors for their hard work and support throughout the year. Me being a kid who was the grandson of a cheerleading sponsor, I understand that you guys put in a lot of work, and I understand that some days that you may not feel appreciated, but we do appreciate you and all the things that you guys do. Just a funny memory, and I've already told this at Pet Rally. One of my favorite moments this year was that Harrisburg game where you guys were in the way, so they made you guys go off to the side, and then 1 minute later the coach was signaling in his defensive calls or offensive calls, whatever it was, and you guys were screaming your heads off. So he couldn't get the call into his guys, and the guys were you guys are screaming as loud as you can, so I appreciate that because that's home field advantage. We'll take it. Thank you to the rest of the sports here tonight. Cross country, softball, and girls golf for all that you do, and all support this year. Coach D for greeting and guiding opposing teams during home games. Nobody asked you to do that, but do that on your own, and that's something that I appreciate. It's one of those things that I have to do on game day, and so I greatly appreciate that. To all the Booster Club sponsors for the many contributions and time spent throughout the year. We can't appreciate enough of what you guys do for us and having your lending hand. Wendy Kitchen, Shirley Cribbs, Lori Williams, Cora, Kara Holman, and all the rest of the parents for providing those pre-game meals for us, and for both varsity and JV. Thank you guys for spearheading that and getting that going, especially my first year. My head's spinning everywhere, trying to figure out what I need to do, what are things that we've done in the past, what new things I want to implement, and you guys did a great job with that, and that's something that we appreciate. Jamie Perry and Dinner's Ready for allowing us to use your facility for Mom's Dinner. I thought that was a successful night. I really enjoyed it, and that's something that I would hope to do again in the future, because from the feedback that I got, I think you guys enjoyed it, and I really did too. That was a good thing. And almost done with the thank yous, guys, sorry. Tell the parents who chipped in for Thursday night meals. We look forward to every week. That's something that is talked about as soon as Thursday hits. Where we have it. I think Coach Terrence is probably the most excited about it out of everybody, because he asks quite a bit when we have it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. Figure it out. You work here. And thank you to my assistants. You guys make my job so much easier, especially this year with my, just having spinning man. And I can't appreciate you guys enough for all the hard work that you do. Deal with me, listen to me, gripe about whatever. And I appreciate you guys so much for chipping in and doing a job when I asked you to do it, especially when it's last second. I'm pretty bad with that with Coach Saul, so I greatly appreciate him with that. And players, most importantly, thank you guys. You guys made my first season something that I'll never forget. And I appreciate you all so much for your hard work and commitment that made my job easy. And so I want to thank you so much for that. All right, this off season. So I won't be quick with this, but this is important because the off season translates to what happens in season. And so with that, before the off season, we talk about expectations and the commitment you must show in and day out to improve not only as an individual but for your team. And as a team, we had a team average score of 90% on our commitment score. And some of you guys might have heard this at my parent meeting and might have forgotten, but so what the commitment score is, it's based on summer attendance, being on time, and completing the workout. And with that, I have been a part of teams that haven't been very good, and I have been a part of teams that have been very good. And the main thing is what are you doing in off season to make yourself better? And so with that, I thought we had a really good year. Now there's still room for growth, but I was extremely proud of how you took that challenge and you ran with it. And so we had 6 guys who scored 100%. So they were there every day, on time, and completing the workout. And so Cooper Harvey, Corbin Perry, Jackson Williamute, Gage Adler, I want you guys to stand up, Brody Kohlmeyer, and Jackson Lane. And so that's important. But those guys weren't the only ones. There's 12 other players who scored 90% or above, which is more than half of our team. We combine with 100% guys. And so that's extremely important to our program, doing the little things right, being the way we're going to get it better. Almost 90% of our team met the off-season goal with their commitment score, which is 80% or above. And so there's a reason for that. And there's a reason why you saw the results you did, because you committed yourself to that. And this is a step definitely in the right direction, but I think the guys here would agree with me that there's still a lot more room for growth. It's not just showing up, putting in quality work. And that's something that I think we can improve on, and we're going to challenge you every day. The guys who will still be here to improve yourself, not just being there, but doing the best you can while you're there. And so, good things are started, but they're good. You got a good foundation going with that. This offseason, we elected a leadership council to help lead us in a positive direction. And I want to recognize these guys. These guys were elected by 3 of us coaches, and the rest were elected by their peers. These guys have leaned on quite a bit, getting us going where I thought where we need to be. And these guys were extremely important to our success this year and getting our team going, holding each other accountable, and holding themselves accountable as well. Just stand up so we can get recognized. Brady Holman, Terrell Wallace, Rick Stevenson, Jack Harlan, Gage Adler, and Corbin Perry. All right, moving on to the season. So, when fall camp started, I had a team meeting the first day to discuss what I thought, what we should be, and what we need to do in order to get there. And to me, I'm a culture guy. We got to get the culture right first before anything else. And so, we talked about our core values. Those core values were family discipline, accountable, energy, effort, tough, and one of pride. And these core values are something that we enforce every day. We're trying our best to enforce every day. And these are things that are really important to us. Because if you hold true to these values that we have, that's going to help you not only in football but off the field as well, moving on with your life. And we weren't perfect by any means, but I do think our leaders did a great job of buying into these values and holding their teammates accountable to living up to the standard of Westran football. To start the season, we certainly faced adversity. With the heat wave and practice changes we had to deal with week 1, I'm sure we were feeling it there a little bit. I know that all the coaches who were just walking around were just dripping in sweat. And so I have never been a part of where coaches they act like they have been in a sauna with their sweat. And it was definitely a challenging thing, not only for the players, but for coaches as well. And so with that, all the different things that we had to do to get us right for week 1, I thought the kids responded really well. And facing North Callaway week 1, and that's something that I think we did a really good job with, was learning how to win as a team. And that's something that we might have been struggling with that first half, was learning how to fight together and win together. And I know going into halftime, I challenged us with that. And from then on, I saw no more pointing fingers. And that's something that's really important to me, is that we don't point fingers at each other, we stick together. And that game, I thought, was a good starting point of, all right, if we just stick together, good things can happen. And so with that, I was extremely proud to see that first game ended up getting a good win week 1. And then the next week against South Shelby, it's a good team, tough loss for us, but they're a very good team. They gave Bowling Green their run for their money. It was a really good test, and we had to do some soul searching after that week. We really did, because it wasn't just because we got our rear ends kicked, but we went back to some of the finger pointing, and so I had to do some soul searching, had to dig deep. But from then, the responses were great, and I couldn't be more proud of how we responded. So after that, we won a 5-game win streak. Throughout those 5 games, we still had to overcome, and not all those wins were pretty, but we found ways to win. And some highlights of the season that I remember that were key contributors to our success. So after that South Shelby game, I really saw we challenged you guys, and through all facets of the game. And I saw a lot of improvement with our O-line, with our physicality and ability to execute our blocks and create run lanes for our 3-headed monster. All right, we got 3 really good backs. We got Nate, we got Corbin and Gage. All those guys have different running styles, but they are all very good backs for us this year. And then another thing was good to see was our ability to throw the ball with a sophomore quarterback. Kind of got thrown into the fire, and he did really well with that. And so he did a really good job of giving the ball in space to our best athletes, and giving them a chance to make plays. Our receivers did a really good job blocking the perimeter, creating big runs for us, because we got to have those guys that block on the perimeter to help a 5-yard gain turn to a potentially explosive play, 15, 20 yards more, or big explosive touchdown. So that's huge, and we take really great pride. Coach Tarrant talks about stock blocking all the time. Harps, preaches everything about stock blocking, because it's the most unselfish thing you can do, and we're really proud of how they stepped up there. And then also receivers making big catches. Something that stick out to me was Jack and Marshall made some big catches for us. And DC's catch against Putnam, and he was getting made fun of in not training camp, but the fall camp. And so there's times where he just all out effort, and that's something that I love. Sometimes these guys don't understand it. But when you see somebody just go all out, you never know in a game where that happens. And DC, literally, I saw that multiple times where he would just lay out. Maybe a ball was 15 feet out, but he would dive. And what do you know? It happened against Putnam. And that was something that, like, you know, these things that you do in practice, they translate. And so that was awesome to see. Brody getting his first touchdown versus Fayette, that's really impressive for a freshman. I was pretty excited about that. And then B-Long doing really good things for us in their flash and bubble game, taking, you know, could be a 5-yard game to the house for 30, 40 yards. So a lot of that, too, give credit to Rick and Terrell. We asked a lot of them to get out in the perimeter, create blocks against some smaller, quicker dudes, and they do a good job of that. And then Marshall broke a record of 10 receptions against Holt with 158 yards. That's a pretty impressive feat there. And then special teams. We've made a lot of plays at special teams this year, and that's something that we wanted to take more pride in, and it showed, because it helped us in a lot of ball games. For example, Nate's kickoff return against Holton, that kind of turned the tide there, and some onside kick recoveries. Sometimes we don't ask, a lot of times we don't call onsides, it just happens. But it's always nice when you call on the ball. And then defensively, we did a really good job of stopping the run with great D-line linebacker play. I couldn't be any more proud of how those guys stopped the run game. And that helps us a lot defensively, being able to do that. And then our DBs tackling the perimeter. Another proud feat until Harrisburg week was that we gave up 0 passing touchdowns for about 5 or 6 weeks. But we decided to make up for lost time and give up about 5 or 4 against Harrisburg. So that was me losing my mind. Went from 0 to 5 real quick. And but we did get better. And another thing that impressed me was how often we work on a 2-minute drill and we see it perfectly executed before stopping. That was awesome to see. And that definitely changed the tide there. Defeating Harrisburg as they leave the conference, that was awesome to see. And there's so much more that I can talk about, because I know I'm going long here. So, main thing is, I'm really proud of the guys that stepped up when we needed them to step up. We've been through a lot this year, dealing with adversity, whether it's through injuries, whether it's through a moment in the game. Those guys responded and responded well. And I couldn't be more proud of how they stepped up when it was their time to step up. And it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I couldn't be more proud of how we fought. We just continue to fight. When things didn't go our way, we just moved on to the next play. And that's something that I appreciate as a coach, and I'm looking forward to that as we move forward. Then JV season, it was a tough year. It is really tough, especially when you have only one sophomore and plays a whole lot of varsity. He's our starting quarterback. And so he's throwing freshmen into the fire with teams, maybe class 2 or 3, against guys that are older, and maybe a little bit more experienced. And I couldn't be more proud of, even going through a tough JV season, they continue to fight, and we definitely saw improvement as time went on. And those guys, when the season was over, we saw a lot of guys starting to make some more plays in team drills, and that's something that's going to help you move forward, moving on to next year. Let's go ahead and start with getting out some letters here. Coach Lawson will talk to you after this, but I want to go ahead and start with JV Letterman. Just start over here about 5 feet outside of Coach Jacoby here, and we'll get a line going here. Freshman JV Letterman, we got Michael Ballard, Cameron Stewart Dale, Trent Ferguson, Dale Williams Henry, John Hosmer, Anthony Wandry, Jackson Williams. All right, moving on to varsity. Just go ahead and get a varsity line started right here outside of Dayton. Brady Kallmeyer, Jackson Land, Baylor Mills, and Cooper Drew. Our lone sophomore, Gage Adler. Juniors, Travis Chapman, DC Dale, Jack Harlan, Sam Harlan, Connor Haynes, Marshall Kitchen, Brennan Long, Corbin Perry, and Thomas Smith. Seniors, Brady Holman, Guillermo Fernandez Lopez, Nate Cribbs, Rick Stevenson, Terrell Wallace, Dawson Wilkerson. Anybody else I missed down there? No. All right, let's go ahead and take a seat. Good job. These three guys remain standing. So just want to recognize these guys real quick. These dudes won Player of the Week awards. Gage Aller, he won it the week against Fayette for during that game. He was 11 of 13 with 222 yards and 5 touchdowns, all different receivers. He also had 4 carries for 26 yards and defensively 3 tackles and 1 interception. And then Corbin Perry against Salisbury, he had 15 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown, 5 tackles, 2 TFLs. And then Guillermo Fernandez Lopez against Putnam, he was 1 for 1 in PATs, 2 for 3 out of field goals, hitting a 33-yard and 35-yard game-winning field goal. All right, moving on to all conference. We'll just start with 13, then we'll move down the line. For 13, running back, Nate Cribbs. 13, defensive end, DC Dale. Offensive line, Dawson Wilkerson. 13, kicker, Rick Stevenson. 13, defensive back, Travis Chapman. 13, wide receiver, Jack Harlan. Jack Harlan was also second team defensive back. Second team linebacker, Corbin Perry. Second team defensive back, Brady Kallmeyer. Second team offensive line, Brady Holman. First team defensive line, Dawson Wilkerson. First team running back, Corbin Perry. First team punter, first team defensive end, and first team tight end, Marshall Kitchen. First team defensive back, and first team quarterback, Gage Allen. First team defensive line and first team offensive line, Terrell Wallace. First team offensive line, Rick Stevenson. First team linebacker, Brady Holman. Brady Holman is also Pro Defensive Player of the Year for our conference. And Gage Allen for Phil Offensive Player of the Year. One last round of applause for these guys. Marshall Kitchen and Brady Holman both stay up there. So today we just found out that these two guys made the KMZU Dream Team, and let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. So Marshall made it for tight end, and Brady Holman made it for linebacker. Back-to-back night shift listening speech. I'm sorry, dude. And then Chris All-Star, we had our banquet last night. Marshall made it as tight end. These guys, just go ahead and stand up for Media All District. So this is elected by all the mainly press. They just choose guys that they think made these teams and they did really well. Gage Aller, quarterback on first team. Go ahead, stand up, Gage. Marshall Kitchen at D-line. Guillermo Fernandez Lopez at kicker. And Dalton Wilkerson at D-line. Terrell Wallace at D-line. And then Brady Holman at linebacker. Marshall also received second team tight end. Academic All-State. So these players met at least 2 of the 3 criteria to be nominated. Top 20% in their class, GPA above 3.5, and 25